Hey guys, it's Desi here coming to you with another video on how to ombre color a wig. Here are the products I'll be using. I'll list them below in the description box, but they're mainly from the Clairol Professional line and Ion by Color Brilliance. Here is the hair. This hair is from Kendra's Boutique, and there are 5 bundles and a closure, and I'm going to be coloring 3 of those bundles and the closure. Here I'm just giving you a close-up of what the hair looks like, how well the wefts are constructed, showing you that what lengths they are: 20, an 18, a 16, 2 14s, and a 14-inch closure, I believe. So I got my gloves on and I'm ready to start mixing my color. Here is the blue lightening powder from Kaleidocolors by Clairol Professional. I'm just going to take a couple of scoops to start off with of that into my plastic bowl. You want to make sure that the bowl is plastic, just because color and lighteners and things, they have a certain kind of chemical reaction with aluminum or tin or anything like that. So you want to make sure your bowl is plastic. And here is the 40 volume developer from Clairol Professional. And I don't really measure. You're going to see me just eyeball it kind of until I see the consistency that I want. Okay, the consistency you want to kind of resemble that of cake batter. So I'm just going to keep adding developer until I get the consistency that I'm pleased with. Maybe I was wrong. 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 Don't make assumptions, baby. And my camera cut out, but I did end up adding a little bit more of the blue powder just to make it a little bit thicker. It was a little too runny for me. So I'm just going to start parting off to apply my color. I'm starting with the closure. I just took a thin section starting with the side of the closure. I believe this is the side, yes, one side of the closure. I'm just taking a very thin section, parting it off to begin my application. So when I start applying my color, I start at the ends of the hair to act as an anchor, so to speak, so that the hair won't be moving all around. It's a lot easier to manage this way. So yeah, I'm just starting at the bottom and working my way up, making sure to fully saturate the hair. Get each strand, make sure each strand is well coated with the lightener. And as you can see here, I'm making a very distinct line where my lightener stops, because I'm going to take my smaller brush here and do the feathering technique. And this is basically where you just put a little bit on the brush and turn it sideways and kind of feather the top of the lightener out, just so you won't have a harsh line of demarcation. You'll see it ease more into the color. This works best when doing ombre, just because the point of ombre is to have a more seamless blend with your color. And I'm going to take another part here, about the same size as the previous one, and basically just do the same thing. I'm going to start at the ends, work my way up, and make a very clear line of demarcation so that I can go back in with my smaller brush and do the feathering technique. And this is pretty much how it's going to work for the whole closure. So I'm going to speed it up after this little part here. I'm going to speed it up, and you can kind of see that I pretty much do the same thing throughout the whole closure. So now that I am done applying the lightener, I'm going to wrap it up in foil for processing. Now, what the foil does is just basically traps in the heat that's necessary for the lightener to actually do its job. So we're going to set that in and basically lightly wrap it up. You don't want to close it in too tight because you do need a little bit of airflow, but we're going to wrap it up and set that over to the side and continue to work on the bundles. Now it is optional to use extra heat, like from a hooded dryer, to speed up processing time on lightener, but since I'm working with so many bundles, we won't actually need that extra time because I'll be using that time to lighten the rest of the bundles. Now I'm going to work with the 18-inch, and here I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I'm actually going to do highlights throughout this. Now, it requires a weaving technique, and I'm going to demonstrate that technique here to you. So since we're still working with an ombre, we're going to actually scoot the bundles up since we don't need to color that top part. And it's kind of hard to explain the weaving technique, so I'm hoping you can see it very clearly. But what you do is take like a metal rat tail comb and just go in and out or up and down throughout the hair and separate those pieces from the bottom pieces that did not get caught in the comb, as you can see me doing here. I move the pieces up and out of the way that I will not be working with. And this is how you create highlights. Now you can do the weave however wide apart that you want it, for more Highlights, obviously you do a closer weave. For highlights that are more spread apart and more bold, you do a larger weave. But here I am doing the same exact technique that I did on the closure, just starting at the bottom and making sure my hair is evenly saturated. And I'm still going to make a distinct line of demarcation and feather up from there. And I'm doing the same thing here. And the ends that are too long for the foil, I actually just scoot them over, making sure that they're all on the foil. But yeah, and then I wrap up one little section once my foil is as long, well, once my hair is as long as that piece of foil, and I just move right along down the weft, doing the same exact thing, weaving up and down, pulling that extra hair out of the way that I will not be lightening, starting at the bottom and working my way up, making sure the hair is evenly saturated, make a distinct line of demarcation, and just keep on moving.
Maybe I was wrong. 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 Don't make assumptions, baby.
So what I did not show you is how I ombre the 16 and the two 14-inch bundles, but it was the exact same thing as the closure, so you can rewind if you need to see that again. I only showed you the longest, well, the 18-inch bundle because I did the weaving technique, and I did not do that throughout the whole head. I wanted it to be a little bit more seamless and kind of blend up from there, and I actually did not lighten the longest bundle at all just because I wanted a more seamless look. But here I am toning the hair. I'm actually putting a color on top of the lightener, and what that does, a lot of times when you lighten hair, it leaves a really brassy look, and nobody wants to walk around looking like a trumpet. So this tones the hair and actually get what the lightener, it lightens it for you, gets it to the level that you want to reach, and then you put a toner on top of it to actually get the color that you want. So that's what I'm doing here. And what you see me doing is just applying it with my hands over top of the lightened section. And I can kind of see, I don't need to use a brush or lay it out on the foil how I did before, because I can kind of see, well, distinctively see where the lightener stops and starts. So I just place the toner on top of the lightener. And I do that on wet hair and at the sink because it can get messy, and this is just a lot quicker and a lot easier. So yeah, that's what you see me doing. It is a little bit more difficult applying toner over top of the weave sections that I did, the highlights, but I just pull up those pieces that are very distinct and apply it over top of that. Now once you're finished applying your color, you want to go ahead and allow it to process for however long the manufacturer recommends. I'm inserting clips here of how the color actually turned out, and I will list in the description box everything I used, including all the implements. If you guys want to see how I actually constructed the wig, be sure to head on over to that video, which I will link as well. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later.